morning, good evening, good afternoon, traders and students all around the world. This is FXPassion broadcasting you live on YouTube, and this is Forex Trading Course 101. Hello Miguel, hello Time to Shine, hello Zuelius, hello Kingsley. How is the sound, everybody? Is the sound okay? Sound check, sound check, check, sound check. Is the sound okay or is it too low? Remember everybody, I have a 20 seconds delay on the chat. In the meantime, we are passed over the basic and the beginner module. Today is Friday, so happy Friday everyone. And remember, if this is your first time, what we are trying to accomplish are the three pillars. Pillar number one, we are trying to build a strategy and or a system that has an edge in the market, and it's easy for us to understand and easy to obey. Hello VA sir. I almost say time to shine. Pillar number two, we are trying to build a risk management model or system for us to understand how the risk management works inside our strategy and or system. And the big one, we are trying to learn, and this is the difficult one, we are trying to learn how psychology works in our trading. Best compilation, wow, I like your name. Hello, how we can plot order flow to candlestick. Best compilation, I have no idea, my friend. Maybe somebody from the chat knows this. Everybody, best compilation says how can we plot order flow to candlestick. VA, very okay. Salbakti, hello, happy Friday to you. And what do champion traders say? Champion traders say, I am not going to live and die on a trade by trade basis. And of course this is a quote from Mark Douglas, everybody. And remember, 90% of traders lose money in the Forex market worldwide, and the webinars are not trading or investment advice. The webinars are for educational purposes only, especially in this Forex trading week where we are implementing what we have learned so far from the modules into the live trading, and we are trying to make and build consistent profits, right? And if you have homeworks or questions, you have my Gmail contact, my Skype contact, and my LinkedIn contact. Now, at the end, because today is Friday, we are going to talk about this, your next level, you know. If you want to become a professional trader, get rich, be a millionaire, or live from the market, so we are going to address how can we help you. Maybe, right? Maybe yes, maybe no, we don't know, but this is where we can help you. Okay everybody, let's do a different exercise today. So type in the chat box a currency pair, and we are going to analyze the currency pair and make a plan for the next week. Okay? Yes, we can also check some trades, so type in the chat box, everybody, a currency pair and a trade. And we are going to look at your trade if you want, and then we are going to make a plan for the next week. Okay? And remember, there is no right or wrong. And remember also, first comes, first is served. Ace money, I'm struggling with identifying the bullish candlestick formation in an uptrend. Ace is going to take you some time. It's called spatial intelligence, and it's practice. Ace, did you have the time to watch the first two webinars from this week? Because I was addressing your challenge, not just yours, but specifically we are talking about end of retracements, end of extensions, you know, the market wave. Kingsley, Euro JPY, great, Euro JPY, delete. So everybody, we are going to address Euro JPY, and we are going to Euro JPY, we are going to build a plan for the next week, okay? Euro JPY monthly chart. Sorry, Miguel. Kingsley was first. I'm sorry, Salbakti. First, Kingsley was first, Euro JPY. If we have time, we're going to address AUD USD, and if we have time, we're going to address Euro GBP. But everybody, I'm telling you, it's the thought process is the same, you know. When you learn how to think, you think, oh, but my currency pair is different. It's not. We are going to address all the currencies in the same way. Okay? So, Euro JPY monthly chart first. We have the upper band, we have the lower band. Long term, we are long because of the long term bias. And Kingsley, type in the chat please, what is your idea? Do you want to short the market? Do you want to go long? And for the one who are the first time with us, everybody, suggestion number one, go back to the Dukascopy webinar page and start to watch the lesson from number one, what is market structure. Okay, because next week we are going to move into the Fibonacci's, and the lessons are going to get just more and more and more complicated if you don't understand and if you didn't learn the basic and the beginner module. So, thought process. What is the market doing? Long term. What is the market doing short term? And what is the market doing right now? Right now it's not that relevant, everybody, because it's Friday, you know. Okay, what is the market doing long term? What is the market doing short term? And what is the market doing right now? So long term it's up. What is the market doing in long term? We are going to use structure, extension, retracement. This is all what we have on Euro JPY. We don't have anything else. On the monthly chart, remember, every currency pair and every time frame has its own structure and its own market wave and its own short-term trend. Okay, so what is the market doing long term, everybody? What would you say? Are we long term or are we short long term? And remember, we learned the concept, right? What defines the long term view of a particular time frame on a particular currency pair? I was short this week. Okay. So would you please type in the chat, where did you enter, where was your stop loss, where was your take profit? Hello Annie. Thought process, everybody. What is the market doing long term, short term, and right now on the monthly chart, Euro JPY monthly chart? Correct, long term we are up, right? What is the market doing short term? Short term, we said, what is going to determine the short term is the short term trend. And this is the thought process, everybody, that you can use on every time frame and every currency pair. Okay? So what do you think? What is the short term? This is the trend. And what did we learn so far? We learned how to use trend lines, right? So this is a downtrend line. Let's color code this in black, you know. And let's change transparency. Kingsley said he was short. What do you think, everybody? Now let's try to learn something. Next week, should we go long or should we go short? Question mark. Next week, question mark. Long or short? Question mark. What would you say, everybody? Long or short next week? Time to shine, 75 up structure. Time to shine structure is yellow, right? Do you mean yellow? Yellow, yes. Hello Christian, hello Annie, up. Salbakti, long term, 75% uptrend. Yes sir. Structure, not the uptrend. The bias still short, check trading view. Oh, thank you Miguel. Let's check trading view. Let's check trading view, everybody, just quickly. Miguel says the bias still short. Chart. Come on. Trading view. Euro JPY. Euro JPY and Saxo Bank. Let's see. Euro JPY Saxo Bank. No, Miguel, we are not short. We are not short, Miguel. The market hit the lower band and it's going to the upper band. Everybody, would you agree that the market hit the lower band twice? Everybody, would you agree, or do we agree, that the market hit the lower band? The last time the market hit the lower band and it's going up, not down. Miguel, would you agree? Do you see? Miguel says the buy is still short. No sir, check trading view, we just did. What do you think, Miguel? Do you think it's still short, the bias? I don't think so. Salbakti said short time, not anymore. Time to shine, short term short, not anymore. King Lennon, 75 up structure, yes sir, short term downtrend on monthly, not anymore. Everybody, the market made a higher high, not anymore. We were short, but the trend line break and we have a new high, yes sir. Next week long, no sir. The last candle is not a relevant high, is it correct? No, it's not correct. Is it relevant? No is up bias. Correct, Vincent? How are you? Yes, next week short term. Yes, Miguel, correct. Miguel, I just want to make sure of the long-term bias. Do you think it's still short, Miguel? Miguel, do you think that bias is still short? That now we are on the trading view? Okay, I'm going to go back on the J-Forex, everybody. Okay. Next week, long or short? Time to shine, 50% up in the short term in that case. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, correct. So everybody, now I answered some of you no sir, no sir, no sir, yes sir. So let's go step by step. This high in here, it's a relevant one. And the market did a higher high. Right? Do we agree on this, everybody, that this is a relevant high? Because we are measuring high to low, low to high, high to low, low to high, high to low. And we have a higher high, right? But as Time to Shine says, it's 50%, right? And we don't have the crystal ball. Maybe this is a false breakout, but we don't know, right? And because this is the higher high and this is the 50% for next week, what can we project? We can project that the market is going to make a higher low and then the market is going to make a higher high. Okay, it's a projection. Passion, how do you know when to project? Well, easy answer, the market made a higher high. you know. If you, everybody, when you understand how this market moves, okay, and yes, some currency pair are easier, some currency pair are more difficult, but Euro JP1, it's an easy one. Look at the swings. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, you know. The market showed us the swings. Easy one, nice waves. And because the market on Euro JPY was not crazy like this, you know, up and down and breaking everything, which Euro dollar is a little bit more difficult, you know. So now that the market was making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and now it broke, you know, it made a higher high. So yes, we have a 50% uptrend on the monthly chart. So our projection is this one. And he says, yes, but we can still also make an even higher high with that candle. No, yes, it's a possibility because it's a monthly candle. Hello MHB. And this has to wait, correct. So what we are going to do next week, we are going to monitor and try to find an entry first to go short, because as some of you said correctly, the market must wave. Okay, it's going to go down, and then when the time finally comes, and if it's going to make a higher low, then of course the next. So on the smaller time frame, we are going to trade and monitor the short-term trend on the smaller time frames, and when and if there is a counter trend line break and a change in the short-term trend with the higher low on the monthly, then we are going to go long. It's not that difficult, everyone. And yes, let's be honest, right? Yes, it is difficult. Yes, it is difficult until you get it, but when you get it, it's quite simple. Eddington, but that is a monthly chart, so it will take many weeks to create a new low, let alone a higher low. Yes, absolutely right. But we can trade the downtrend, Eddington, on the smaller time frames, right? We can trade the downtrend on the smaller time frame, and we can trade the uptrend on the smaller time frame. And everybody, this thought process is the same on every time frame, every currency pair. We are on Euro JP1 monthly, but you can think if you want, and again, you can reject what we're teaching you, you can accept, you know, but it's always the same. You can translate this to every currency pair and every time frame. Oh, but about AUD CAD daily? What about GBP JPY 1 hour? What about USD JPY 5 minutes? It's always the same. Okay? This is what we should have learned until now. Because starting from next week, we are going to move further to new knowledge. We are going to learn about Fibonacci's and everything. MHB, you are the boss, you know. Okay? So, Kingsley, you were short this week. Would you be so kind and type in the chat where did you enter the market, where was your stop loss, you know. And again, everybody, remember, we are going to go long if and when the market is going to break a counter trend line on the daily and start making higher highs, higher lows. And if the market is not going to make a higher low but a lower low, then this relevant high would be considered as a false breakout. Does this make sense to you, everyone? Does this make sense to you? Yes, okay, great. Now we are going to clone the chart and we are going to go to the weekly. So delete, 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 and weekly chart. And we are going to compress the chart, you know, and we are going to ask the same questions. It's the same thought process. For the beginner trader, what is the market doing long term, what is the market doing short term, and what is the market doing right now on the weekly chart this time. I'm keep telling you, everybody, every time frame has its own structure and its own short-term trend. Zuelius says, yes, it makes sense. If the candle made a high but the body of the candle was opposite way around, does this mean it would be long short-term? Time to shine, what do you think? Time to shine. What do you think? What makes a trend? The wicks? What makes a trend, everybody? Great question. So we have questions, right? Not everything is clear. What makes a trend? A wick of the body, or just the candle, or the 5 candles, 20 candles, or the market wave? What makes a trend? Time to shine. Everybody, can you help time to shine? He's asking if the candle made a high but the body of the candle was up, like a bearish candle, right? The market made a higher high but the candle closed bearish. Does this mean it's long short term? So this question shows that we have doubts, right? How the candles work and what is the representation of what. So what is the answer to time to shine's question, everybody? The candle makes the trend. Chris says two higher highs, two higher lows. The market wave. Okay, so you got it. All of you right. Right? All of you right. The market made a higher high. Remember, one of the concepts for the beginner trader is trade what you see. Trade what you see. Fact. The market made a higher high. It's a fact, everybody. The market made a higher high. Period. We have a 50% uptrend. Period. Those are facts. Okay? So don't trade based on, oh, I think, you know, oh, but this is a false breakout. We don't know this. You know? And if you are shorting the market because you think it's a false breakout, I'm telling you, you are guessing. And it doesn't matter if you have a winner or a loser. You are trading as a casino master, you know? Oh, let's put some money in the slot machine. You know? For up, yes sir. Relevant highs and lows, yes sir. The candle, yes. High, low, then wicks. No Zuelius, everything that everybody said together makes a trend, not just the high, low, and the wicks. Okay? So, the same thought process, you know? What is the market doing? Low, high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high. What is the market doing long term, short term, and what is the market doing right now? But right now is not relevant because it's Friday. But you can analyze this chart and every chart with the same thought process on Sunday night, Monday morning, when the market opens again. You can check Euro JPY chart and ask the same question. I mean, the long-term view and the short-term view is not going to change because this is the monthly and weekly. But you can answer what is the market doing right now. Aggressive entries right now going long, says King. Yes, if you are an aggressive trader, you know, you can enter right now, or if you want to be more secure, more conservative, you know, you can wait, right? So everybody, let's say that today is Monday. How would you trade this? Would you short the market? Trend is made by the wicks. You should not break the wicks when you draw a trend line. Wrong, Miguel. I mean, not you are. So everybody, again, questions about trend lines. This trend line is correct, Miguel and everybody else. Who in here, come on, let's talk about this. Who in here thinks that this trend line is wrong? Miguel said trend is made by wicks. You should not break the wicks when you draw a trend line. Now, if you're talking about this downtrend line, Miguel, I'm telling you, you are wrong. And I'm going to explain you why. But in general, if it is a general rule, you know, when the market's making higher highs, higher lows, then you're right. In general, right? So, you are correct. The trend is made by wicks and bodies. And we should not break the wicks in here. Now the question is, everybody, do you see the difference between the upper picture and the down picture? Because those are not the same. Miguel and everybody else who thinks that this trend line is wrong, go back on the Ducascopy webinar page and watch again the lesson on trend lines. This downtrend line is correct. I am puzzled. Yes, I know, because everybody, you need to learn the concepts. Only call me Lennon Teach. I'm still crafting the king version of myself. Okay. Everybody, you need to learn the concepts. What is the concept? A trend line is a tool that confirms the trend. Okay? A trend line is a tool that confirms the trend. So if I put my trend line like this, is my trend line confirming the downtrend? It's a yes or no question. If I put my trend line like this, and there is a lesson already, we learned this 3 years straight. When is the right time to adjust the trend line? You know, if I leave my trend line like this, is my trend line confirming the trend? It's a yes or no question. Simple as that. Does my trend line confirms my trend? What do you think? Yes. Now I have a 20 seconds delay, everybody. I don't know which one is yes, which one is no. So the answer, if the trend line is like this is wrong. This trend line is not confirming my downtrend because we have a higher high. So this is not a downtrend anymore. And the correct trend line is this one. This is the correct downtrend line. And let's color code this in black. Until here the market was, the trend line was confirming my downtrend, and we have a downtrend line break. To move the trend line, you need to wait until the market makes a new lower low. Yes, sir, absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Everybody, I know maybe sometimes I'm boring, you know. I know sometimes I'm boring, but I'm keep telling you, Miguel and everybody else, if you are trying for 2 years plus and you are not making any progress, ask for help. Okay? If you are losing, the 1 year it's not a problem, because in 1 year you are learning how everything works and what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, you know. You are learning the logic behind how the market works and the rules and the concepts. But if you are trying for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5, 6, 7, you know, and you still don't get it, ask for help. This is one tiny small error that maybe it's making you that you are losing money, everybody. And yes, okay, we are not going to talk about this right now. We are going to address at the end. Okay, we are going to talk about the end, about how can we help you further. If you want, of course, you know, no problem. Okay, so what is the market doing long term? What is the market doing short term? What is the market doing right now? If today is Monday, everybody, the market is opened. And this is the last lesson. Starting from next week, we are going to address the Fibonacci's. Remember that the best entries are the end of the retracements for the beginner trader. And the professional one, those are the best entries when we have a change in the short-term trend, end of retracement. Those are the best entries. So if today was Monday and this is Euro JPY monthly chart, Euro JPY weekly chart, and we made a projection, you know, what we think is going to happen, like this, from the monthly standpoint. Okay, from the monthly standpoint, and now we are on the weekly. So short term, we are going to short the market, and if and when the market is going to reverse, then we are going to go long, right? Is anybody here who does not agree with this one? Oh, and I need to make here a counter trend line break. So change in the short term. Change in the short term. There you go. So this is the market structure. Change in the short term. The previous candlestick for monthly chart is bearish, so this week short. Looks like yes. Okay, let's say that it's Monday, everybody. So it's let's short this week the market or let's go long. Let's say that it's Monday today. What do you think? Short or long? And remember, everybody, don't be shy. There is no right or wrong. We are here to learn. And you cannot learn unless you make mistakes, everyone. Okay? So we want to short the market short term. What kind of entries are we going to look for on the smaller time frame? The entry number 1 or the entry number 2? Or are we going to wait for a breakout entry, everyone? You know, who in here wants to wait for a breakout entry? Huh? What do you think? So we have an uptrend, we have a downtrend, we have an up structure, we have a down structure. We can short the market, we can go long, you know, and we have different entries. Who in here wants to enter with the breakout starting from Monday? Hello, Akos. Question short. Which entry? Number 1, number 2, or do you want number 3? So short number 1, short number 2, or short number 3? Which one are you going to wait for? Zuelius number 2, Vincent number 2, any number 2? Is anybody who in here who wants to enter with number 1 or 3? Remember, there is no right or wrong, right? Zuelius number 2, Vincent number 2, any number 2? Anybody else? Time to shine number 2. Come on guys and girls, we want to make some pips and money, right? Short because end of retracement, but a breakout will confirm more the short entry. Miguel, 1, 2 or 3, which one are you? Which one is you? Remember, Miguel, there is no right or wrong, but a lot of beginner traders have problems with breakout entries. Okay, I'm not saying that this is you, but, and again, there is no right or wrong. Number 3 from the top is also okay. Everybody, we talked about this, okay? One more time. If you are not making consistent pips and money from month to month, go check your entries, and if you are entering 70%, 60% with breakouts, I would suggest you to stop doing this. Okay, just a suggestion, not a rule. Okay, so we are clear, right, what we're going to do. We're going to choose, because we are shorting the market, number 1, it's not, we are going to do number 2, you know, and if you want, okay, oh, there is no right or wrong, okay, maybe with number 3. But I would suggest you, everyone, if you're a beginner trader, go with number 2. Okay, and today is Monday, so we are going to clone the chart. And remember, we are learning the thought process here. You can apply this process to every currency pair and every time frame. And then we are going to jump on the daily chart. We're going to delete structure because the daily has a different structure, you know. So the yellow is still, yellow is from the monthly and weekly. Okay, now structure from the daily, it's a little bit different. Structure from the daily is going to be like this. We have a down structure, extension, let me see which one is higher. Okay, so we have extension, retracement, extension, retracement, extension until here. Doesn't look like, but it is a lower high still. Retracement, extension, retracement, extension, and extension. So we have the first up leg of this structure up. So on the smaller, now what is puzzling right in the beginning is, in the beginning when we are learning trading is kind of a puzzle, right? Because we are learning that the higher time frame controls the smaller time frame, but the first change is going to happen on the smaller time frame, right? So we have a down structure on the monthly, weekly, but we have the first leg of the up structure on the daily. And as a beginner trader, I'm thinking, man, so what should I do, you know? And passion is telling to trade what you see, so what should I do? Right? And again, thought process is the same. What is the market doing long term? What is the market doing short term? And what is the market doing right now? Now, this is kind of a tricky, right? Because Euro JPY monthly and weekly, What is the market doing long term? Long. What is the market doing short term? Short. And now on the daily, what is the market doing long term? Is long or short? Tricky question, everyone. What do you think? Because the daily has a different structure as the monthly and the weekly, what is going to be the answer? Right? And what is the market doing short term? Well, we can address the short term trend if you want. You know, what is the market doing short term? And then the next question, if today is Monday, the next question is, what is the market doing right now? And what is the market doing right now is another word to talk about timing. Short because end of retracement, number 3 from, okay, short, just to confirm, you started the structure of the daily there because there was the start of the trend. No, I started the structure here because the daily has a different structure. Everybody, what is structure? We learned this. You are going to see structure when you are going to see the different changes in the short-term trend. You know? And then this is going to be structure, and you are going to put a trend line, and the trend line is a tool that confirms the trend, and the trend line is a tool that confirms structure. So the red or the brown color is structure, and the yellow is the short-term trend. Time to shine. So when I'm looking at the daily chart, where do I see extension, retracement, extension? You know, I could have started from here. You know, extension, retracement, extension, retracement, extension, retracement, extension, retracement, extension, retracement, extension. And in some point in time, this was structure. But then the market broke the trend line and the market was changed, right? It was making extension, retracement, extension, retracement, extension, retracement. Is it clear? Time to shine? It's not the start of the trend. It's the start of a new structure. Vertical line on the left, it's one story, and on the right you have another story. Okay? Short, long term, because our up structure is still not confirmed yet. Well, no time to shine, because the higher time frame controls the smaller time frame. And remember, so trading is a puzzle, right? Until we get all the concepts together. Okay, what is a no sir? Why is no short long term? Because if I'm entering on the daily, and the daily is my trading time frame, the weekly is my confirmation time frame. And what does the confirmation time frame, what is the confirmation time frame telling me? It's not short long term, it's long term. You know? Passion, this is so complicated, man. I know. That's why I'm boring and I'm telling you, go back to the Ducascopy webinar page and start to watch the lesson starting from lesson number 1 and learn. Because we are going to move further starting from Monday. Akos long term, yes sir. Christian, daily long term long, short term short. No sir. Everybody, it depends. So what is the problem, right? What is our challenge? We are mixing concepts. Okay, one more time, then we are going to move forward. So what is the challenge to the beginner trader? Challenge, and it's normal because trading is a skill. We are confusing or mixing concepts and rules from different time frames. This is our challenge, everyone, as a beginner trader in the beginning. We are confusing and mixing concepts and rules from different time frames. Now, I'm going to talk again very slowly for you to try to get this, okay? One more time. On the monthly chart, what is going to determine long term and short term is the structure, and we have an up structure. Is it bias, meaning the lower band and the upper band, and the short term is going to be determined by the short term trend on the monthly. On the weekly, it's going to be the same. Long term is going to be defined by the structure, and the short term is going to be defined by the short term trend, and the bias is going to be determined by the upper band and lower band. Okay, so we have two. Now daily is going to do the same, but daily, because we have more waves and the daily chart is a structural part of the weekly and the monthly. We have, of course, because we have more ways, what is the short-term trend on the monthly translates to structure to the daily. One more time, what is the short-term trend on the monthly many times translates into structure on the daily. So you have an up structure on the weekly, but you have a down structure on the daily. And when we talk about entering from the daily chart, the weekly chart is our confirmation time frame. So we need to obey the weekly chart, and we are talking about convergences. Before I enter long or short on the daily, I need to check the weekly candle. If I want to go long but the weekly candle is bearish, I'm not entering. Or if I want to short the daily chart and the weekly candle is bullish, I don't have a trade. Okay? And when we jump from the daily to the 4-hour chart, most likely the 4-hour chart is going to confirm us what the daily chart is doing. Right? So I can trade from the 4-hour time frame or 1-hour time frame perspective, obeying the daily chart, but I must be clear on what is long term and short term from the respective time frame. Because what is short term and long term from the 4-hour chart, 1-hour chart, 2-hour chart may be not long term and short term from the daily. And what is long term, short term from the 4-hour chart, 1-hour chart and the daily chart may be not long term and short term from the weekly. And in the last analysis, what is long term and short term from the 1-hour chart, 50-minute chart, 2-hour chart, daily and weekly may be not long term and short term from the monthly. And this is why this trading stuff, it's confusing in the beginning, because you have 10 different traders entering in 10 different time frames, and they are all over the place. They are long and they are short in different areas with different stop losses and different take profits. And I talk this many times, all of them, if they understand the dynamics of the market, all of them can win. And if they don't understand the dynamics, which is what we just talked about, how to look what is short term and long term in a respective time frame, but you need to address the confirmation time frame also, all of them can lose. Christian said, don't forget to like the lesson. Yes, we always like the thumb up, you know. So watch this lesson. You don't need to watch the entire lesson, but watch this lesson today, the last 5 minutes, and try to hear me. Repeat this thing, what I just talked about, 20 times, you know, and try to get it. Now, your next level, everybody. If you want to be, so this is where we can help you, okay? If you want to be a professional trader, live from the market, being rich and famous, you know, okay, we have different levels. Eddington, so based on your time frame, what do you use to determine a long time frame would be number of candles, number of swing, number of highs and lows? So based on your time frame, what do you use to determine long term? Answer, Eddington, structure. Structure. On every time frame, what is going to determine long term is structure. Every time frame has its own structure. So everyone, number one, if you want to accelerate your learning curve, this is why I'm telling you, if you are trying for 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 years, whatever, and you don't move further, ask for help. You know, you can ask for private lesson of the Forex course 101, or if you are doing well and want to learn and to move on the next level, ask for Forex course 202, where professional traders don't think, they just execute. Okay? And again, I put this today. Some of you are stubborn, you know, but I'm telling you, you cannot escape from a prison if you don't know that you are in one. And I'm telling you, everyone, if you are trying for 2 years plus, maybe you are in a mental you think that everything is alright, you think that you understand everything, but numbers don't lie, you know. If you are not moving forward, ask for help. When you are passed over number 1 and number 2, Forex course 101 and Forex course 202, and you understand everything, your next level is number 2. If you want to start your own trading business and attract investors, connect and we will talk about the specific business model. Good news for you, no capital requirements in here. Okay? So, and if you're past number 1 and past number 2, and you want to work for an institution, it's next level number 3. If you think that you are ready and you want to test yourself as a professional trader, test rules apply from different brokers and investment banks to be considered as a professional apprentice or junior trader in an institution. You can test yourself on a real account with real money. And number 4, you know, you don't like number 2, you don't like number 3, but you prefer to be your own boss. And if you want to trade with me, just connect and we will talk about the trading business possibilities. But you need at least a real account with minimum $25,000 or equivalent in other currency. And this is not a signal service and strict rules apply. And number 5, this is a new one. If you are interested in automation, and if you ever think about auto Fibonacci, connect and ask for more information. Okay, everybody, those are your next levels. Happy Friday. See you back on Monday. Okay? I'm not going to tell you stay strong and trade.